are at Taunton Parade, outside the now closed down Clinton's card shop. It's not long though, and we hop on our Enviro 200 bus in the current Buses of Somerset livery along East Street. This is East Reach, which is the same road as East Street. However, this bit is dual carriageway, and this is the main road in and out of the town centre to the eastern side of the town, as well as Gateway Park and Ride and Junction 25. All the main roads from Monks and Heathfield, Bridgewater, Ilminster, Chard, Yeovil and Glastonbury, where we're heading, all merge onto this busy, congested highway. Just like the Route 30, the Route 29, heading both towards Glastonbury and Taunton Parade, takes a more obscure route around Blackbrook and Holway before making its way back onto the main route at Junction 25 of the M5 motorway. Here we are passing a Park and Ride right street light. We'll be covering the Park and Ride very soon. The Park and Ride is operated by both Somerset Council and First under the Buses of Somerset brand. Here we can see the right streetlight bus. in the iconic orange and purple livery, which this bus has been sporting it since 2020. Before 2020, it sported a much more bland white livery with some green lines on, presumably the highway. Here we are turning off of the main A358 road, which heads towards Ilminster and Chard, and joins the A30, which can head towards Yeovil. However, we're going down towards the Lawn Meadow at Rewishton, which is a small suburb located near the Gateway Park and Ride, and is also situated close to the village of Creech St Michael, where we'll be heading next. are joining the main A361 road, which we'll be following all the way to Grainton, and then we'll be taking a slightly more diverse route towards Ashcote. However, as for now, we head towards the Somerset Levels, and the heart of it as well. The A361 takes a more direct route out of Taunton, following the main A38 through West Monkton. We are passing through the village of Lower Durston, which is situated near Durston, as well as Creech St Michael and the Two Lings. There's not much about this village. However, the railway line towards Castle Carey and Bridgewater was originally diverted. However, it takes a more direct route to the railway junction now. Did you know that East Lynn actually survived since the medieval times? However, back then, it was just a small playing field and was sometimes used for battles. We are now heading along towards Boroughbridge, where the famous Boroughmont ruins are located. There we cross the River Parrett, which connects with the River Yeo up further at Langcourt. East Lynn is actually the bigger of the two Lyngs, considering that it is very small. West Lynn is smaller though, and we have already travelled through West Lynn. We are just going past the floodgates along the A361. This road is actually the longest, however, you may have to take an even longer route if the road is flooded, as some of the Somerset Levels, and indeed this road, is below sea level, and when there's heavy rain, well, let's just say that the land doesn't survive against the water. There was not much flooding until after Boroughbridge and Othery. This section, however, you would expect more, considering that there are floodgates installed. However, the majority of it is on the stretch with no floodgates. Anyway, here we can see the River Parrett high as hell, and there's no surprise considering that it has literally just started chucking it down whilst we're on the bus going through Boroughbridge. Here we are going past Boroughmont ruins, which isn't exactly very nice to walk up on a day like this. However, the ruins are very interesting and you get a great view of the River Parrett, the River Yeo, and the surrounding areas and moorland. Othery doesn't have much old stuff left, with most of it just being modern houses. However, there are a few little bits and bobs that date back to when the village was originally built. Here we cross the A372, which heads from Bridgewater to Langford. The number 16 bus operates along that road, and here we can see it parked up near the London Inn. Hamlet with a couple of houses. However, the lake that runs alongside the village is very nice. As well as this, a small nature reserve which is often peaceful surrounds the lake and the various waterways in this area. However, as for us, we zoom along the road towards Ashcott Street and Glastonbury, as well as the Poldham Hills, situated in the background. Survived since the 19th century, which is no surprise considering the road is much more bendier than what the Romans would have liked when they came along and buried all their dead people here. This small village, with only a small population, is part of the Whitley Hundred, as well as other villages in the Poldham Hills area. As well as this, in the 20th century, Greenton Manor was built here. In the 14th century, the Romans decided to build this road. However, there is one problem. It was going to have to be very long and twisty going through Greenton, as the villagers would not accept them to plough through their village and to make a hash of it all. So, this is why there are two very tight and twisty bends, which are really not very nice for drivers. However, the road back then was still a great alternative to the Poldham Road, as it was known back then, which went via Brig, which is Bridgewater. This road, however, was known as the Ultra Strata, which could perhaps mean the alternative to the Polden Road. Joining the much more busier and wider Polden Road, as it was known back in those times, which has came from Bridgewater, or Brig as it was known then, and many other villages, such as Bordering. The Route 75 now follows the Route 29 into Ashcott and Street and Glastonbury. As you would expect, Ashcott is very similar to Greenton in many respective manners and ways. As well as this, it survives in the same times and was also part of the Whitley 100 scheme. However, unlike Greenton, it had a mail coach stop, which would allow weary travellers to have a rest before delivering their goods to Exeter and Bath, as well as many other small towns in this area. As well as this, it also had a train station situated on the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway, or the Slow and Dirty as it was known back then, which was called Ashcott and Mere to begin with. However, Mere was a small village and I guess wasn't important enough, and the Mere part was dropped in 1876. Is so unimportant that it isn't even shown on the bus timetables for the 75 and the 29. However, it is there and it is very nice and quaint. However, we don't stop here long as we head towards Street and the very famous Clark's Village. Here we are stopped in Street Town Centre, near the High Street and the Crispin Hall Shopping Centre, which is failing massively. There are no shops there because they've all moved across the road to the Clark's Village Outlet Shopping. Clark's, you say? Yep, we covered this in our 77 video. However, I'll say it again. Clark's, the shoe company that you know today, actually started their business in this small town in Somerset, in the UK. You really wouldn't think that now, would you? Clark's Village is sadly though outlet shopping, which means there's lots of wasteful and bargain stuff to buy at the shopping centre. However, it is better than the Crispin Hall. Let's just say that. Unfortunately, Clark's Village has had an impact on the street, just like it would have in any other town, and has made the high street very decrepit and run down. Here is our Enviro 200 bus heading off towards Windmill Hill, which is actually a not very nice area of Glasgow.